Check one, two, check one, two. Jay Rise is in the building. Greg's in the building. What's up, y'all? Welcome in. Diego, welcome in. The Conqueror's in the building. Welcome in, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining the stream today. I appreciate y'all hopping in for a little bit today. It's going to be a short live, but we are going to get into some music here in a little bit. I appreciate y'all joining. If y'all are coming in over on TikTok, make sure y'all are tapping the screen, share out the live with a few people. Excuse me, and we'll get into some music here in just a little bit. Subtitles, welcome in. Chris, Steve, Ashton, Salin, I appreciate you being here. Thank y'all for joining the stream. We're gonna get flowing here in just a little bit. If y'all are coming in for the first time, let me know where you're joining from. And if you make music, let me know the kind of music that you make. DZ, what's up? Reno, what's up? Welcome in. Ash is in the building. What's up, Ash? RJ is in the building. Chris, P52, thank you for the 3 heart puffs. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the generosity. I appreciate that a lot. Maroon Sweet is in the building. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank y'all so much for joining. If y'all are on TikTok, tap the screen like crazy. Tap, tap, tap. Share out the live with a few people. Don't forget to send your heart me. It does really help out the live stream. I'll explain the whole structure of the live stream in the next like 3 or 4 minutes. We're just going to get the platforms moving. We are live on all 3 platforms right now. So TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. We're moving and grooving. Once we get everything flowing and everything updated and ready to go, I'll go ahead and update the line. I'll get everything. Actually, it's already updated, I believe. I did that before. I'll update everything, and then I'll explain the structure of the live stream for anyone that might be interested. Until that point, just make sure y'all are tapping the screen, share out the live. If you're new here, let me know where you're joining from. Let me know what kind of music you make, so on and so on. And we'll get flowing here in just a little bit. Gary is in the building. What's up, Gary? I can't see the TikTok chat. I can. Unless there's something that's being blocked by TikTok, then I can't. I don't know if I'm seeing it or not because I don't know if it's been sent or not. How do you submit? If you are going to submit for consultations, I'll address that here in a little bit, but it all happens at my profile if you click on the link and then read through and follow details there. But I will explain kind of the structure of it is a little bit different. So I will explain the structure of the live stream here in just a little bit, but it does happen through my profile at the link right there. But yes, I can't see the chat for all the different platforms that we're live on. Erica's in the building. Chris, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. Thank you for that. Y'all keep tapping the screen. We're going to get flowing here in just a minute. I'm just getting, the platforms updated, getting things flowing here. Making sure I have all of my emails updated as well. What's up, Erica? I hope y'all are doing fantastic. Let's see. Give me a second to get a couple things updated here, y'all, and then just making sure I've got everything where it's supposed to be, and then we'll get flowing. What are y'all up to today? Playing a hometown gig tomorrow. Let's go. That's amazing. What kind of a venue? Let's see. And then maybe we can get a few people in from yesterday so we can get them moving in the right place. 4SV, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Give me just a couple minutes, y'all. Just a couple minutes, then we'll get it flowing. I got like 2 minutes before we officially kickstart the live. EJ, like I said just a moment ago, when the first time you asked, everything's at my profile. If you click on the link, go to my profile, click on the link, you'll see exactly where you need to submit. It's for our town's little festival celebrating spring. Let's go. That's amazing. That sounds awesome. James, welcome in. Bo, appreciate you being here. Zay is in the building. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. Caesar Boy, what's up? Welcome in. How y'all feeling today? Let me know if y'all are joining for the first time. It's going to be short and sweet today, y'all. We're not going to be on for very long. Erica, I literally just hopped on. So we're fresh. There's nobody in line. We just got on just a moment ago. So we're just getting things flowing here. EJ, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I'm glad to hear it. Do you know anything? Do you know any marketing agencies that need a video editor? Not currently. Yeah, line is open right now. I haven't even done my spiel yet. We're just hopping on. We're gonna be on for like 4 songs, literally 4 or 5 songs. So it's gonna be pretty straightforward today. Give me just one moment, and we'll get some things moving here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Erica, I got you. I got you. I got you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me get you up here already, and then we'll get things flowing in a moment. We'll get things flowing in a moment. And I'll be looking for that email in a second. Okay, let me go ahead and explain the live stream. Noah the golfer is in the building. What's up, Noah? Welcome in, welcome in. I appreciate y'all being here so much. For those of you who are coming in for the first time, welcome to Track Talk. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the family. I appreciate y'all being here, for taking any amount of time to hang out with us and, listen to some music, submit some music, chill with some other creatives and musicians, artists, producers, engineers, whatever it may be. That's what this whole live stream is about. So we're going to get into some of those details here in a second. Let me just give you my spiel about this live stream and what it is and how it works and what we're actually trying to accomplish here. So if you have never been here before, what we do here at Track Talk are 20 to 30 minute multiple listen consultations on the structure of your music. This is not a review. There is no trash or pass. There's no ratings. I'm not going to rate your song. There is no polls or anything like that, gas or pass, whatever, things like that. That's not what this live is at all. This is a detailed, long form, multiple listen breakdown and consultation on the structure of your music. We're going to dive into the mix and master, production elements, sound design choices, lyric and song formatting. We're going to get into the details and the nuances of what you're doing creatively and practically. I'm not here to roast you. I'm not here to trash you. I'm not here to tear you down. I'm not here to hype you up. I'm not here to get you exposure. If that happens, if the algorithm takes off and some cool things happen, you get fans of your music, beautiful, but it is not my priority in the way that we have structured the stream. It's not the way that I have positioned the way that we do things. If that happens, that's amazing. That's fantastic. But the goal here is to offer really specific, nuanced feedback on the structure of your music and offer practical, specific, and actionable feedback on what you're doing within the structure of your music. This is for producers, engineers, artists, session musicians, vocalists, songwriters, so on and so on. Absolutely any style, any genre, any level of preparedness, any level of quality. We have, I've told this before many, many times just as an example, but within one live stream, we've had someone send in a voice memo of them humming a melody in a Starbucks booth, and we helped them build chords around it, and we've had Grammy-winning producers. So it's all the way across the board. You never have to feel like you have to show up in any particular way. There's a lot of variety here of style and quality. The goal is to bring value and bring some actionable feedback to what you're doing within the structure of your music. For those of you who don't know, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. That is what I do for a living. I've done that for the last 14 plus years. I'm also a classically trained pianist. So that is kind of the perspective of the live stream and the structure of this live stream and kind of the way that it's formatted. If you would like to submit your music, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. If you would like to, excuse me, and the master of the synth. I love the synths. Thank you, Erica. The synths are my favorite thing in the world. I've been playing synths for most of my life. It's really fun. I've got a bunch of them and more coming soon, hopefully. If you would like to submit your music for said consultations, these 20 to 30 minute multiple listen breakdowns, then go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow all of the details, and we will get you up in the line. If you are on the Red app that we are also live on, you can go to the description for the live stream. You'll see the link there. If you are on the Purple app, which we are also live on, you can type !submit right there in the chat. The Red and Purple app, starts with a T, one starts with a YT. Use your imagination. You can find them all at my link. You'll see the details there. You can easily find those platforms. That is where the line is. So the line is always up on those other platforms. So you can see them at absolutely any point during throughout the live to kind of see how many songs we have left, the order, where you're at in the list, the minimum at that time of the live stream, so on and so on. Today is short and sweet. This is not going to be a live that's very long. We are quite literally going to be listening to 4 or 5 songs. Dan the band, thank you so much for tapping in, man. I appreciate the heart me. Someone else sent to heart me as well. I appreciate that so much, and thank you for the Go Populars, man. I appreciate your generosity always. Thank you so much for the support. We're going to do literally 4 or 5 songs. 4 or 5 songs. This is going to be short and sweet. If you would like to submit for these consultations where we go deep and we really get into those details, go to my profile, click on the link, read through, and follow the details there. Is it Holzer? Am I saying that correctly? Is it too late to send us? So no, we haven't even heard the first song yet. I'm backwards on my screen. The line is right here, so you can see where we are. Erica's hopped on the board. We're about to get into the music. So if you would like to submit Holzer on the Purple app, it's what we call a Purple app, all you have to do is type !submit, and then you'll see the details there. All right. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate that so much. Lucky, yo, I'm new here. I'm a producer on the way. Tell me something, please. What would you like me to tell you? What can I answer for you briefly? I'm going to go ahead and start with our first song, y'all. So let's get straight into it. Happy Friday, Nicole Gray music. So good to see you in here. I appreciate you stopping by for a little bit. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. We're going to kick it off right now. Like I said, we have probably realistically four songs today. I'm going to go ahead and actually adjust that now. I'm going to go ahead and adjust it now. So we'll be closing the lines fairly quickly, y'all. We're going to be closing the lines very quickly here. Lucky, these are 20 to 30 minute consultations, deep dive, multiple listen consultations for artists, producers, musicians, engineers, people that represent those people. So we dive deep into music structure, getting into the way that people are building out their lyrics, their production, their beats, their artistry, their songwriting, whatever it may be. So we dive deep into those different elements and hope to offer some actionable feedback and some real breakdown of kind of what they're doing on the practical side as well as on the creative side, and see if there's any way that we can help y'all out and give you a little bit of a boost as far as just polishing what you're doing or just pointing you in the right direction of some ways that you can improve on your craft. If anyone wants to submit, all happens at my profile if you click on the link if you're on TikTok. All right, we got Erica in the building. Let's go ahead and clear this off the list. So like I said, y'all, probably 3 songs after this, short and sweet. Let's run it. Let me see. I think Erica said something a moment ago. Sent you a new one, demo recorded on a phone again. Let's get it. The song name is Ready to Rock. Still a very rough demo. Very rough demo. So keep that in mind. People, it's not mixed. I'm like, yeah, it's a rough demo. That's what rough demos are for. All right, this is Ready to Rock. Hold on. Let me see if it'll download right now. Smile. Thank you for tapping in and thank you for the follow. I appreciate that so much. You're amazing. All right, let's get into it. Any other details you want me to know? Of course, you know the deal, Erica. As well as I always recommend that even beyond what you tell me, that you remind the chat, because there's every single time that people come in here, there's people that have never heard what you're doing before. So let the chat know as well what you specifically do, the role that you play in your music, band names, artist names, stuff like that. Give them some details so that people can, fall in love with what y'all do as well and be able to kind of follow your journey. Lucky, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. With the month ends, open a tune. Hey, sounds good. This is a great community. Like I mentioned before, this is not like a roast live, and we're gonna tear you down. And it's also not a hype live where I just tell everyone they're amazing. It's a very analytical, very practical live. That for me is really, really important to the way that we structure it. These take a while. Sailor, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. These are not fast. It's not a quick review. There's no trash or pass ratings, polls, nothing like that. Okay. And it's from the basement. I'm a lead singer. Your first message was blocked, unfortunately, Erica. I just got the it's from the basement. I'm a lead singer of Good Nuff. Got a couple singles out, unless there wasn't a message before that and it just came in funny. I don't know why. Let me finish up the recording now. Okay, beautiful. Okay, let's get into it. This is Ready to Rock by Good Nuff.
1, 2, 3, 4!
Keep in mind, this is an iPhone, just phone recording. Welcome in. I appreciate you being here, yo. Woo! Basement recording. I love it. It's raw. It's nasty. Kicking off strong with the guitar solo. Let's go. 100%, Dan. 100%. I don't know if you already are. Y'all should be posting this stuff too. People love to see the BTS behind rock bands and stuff like that, especially once the song's already released. Yeah, set a reminder on your phone or something. I like the harmonics. Those little harmonics on the guitar are nice. waiting for something on the hook. There's a little. It's not for just a listen, no. It's a 30-minute long-form live stream consultation. All the details are at my profile there. Thank you for the follow, Lord. Last song of a 4-hour practice. That's brutal. That's brutal. That's tough. Let's go. Love the feedback. Come on. That's where you need guitar amps. That's where you need a mic up amps. Y'all show some love. Show some love. Show some love. That is Erica Hart right in here in the chat over on TikTok. They are the lead singer of the band Good Nuff. Let's get into it. Let me see. Where'd the file go? Ready to Rock. The song's called Ready to Rock. Let's get into it. We're going to run it from the top. We're going to dive into a couple things. Excuse me. Easton, I appreciate you tapping in. Don't drop your song in the chat. That's not how you submit. If you would like to submit your music for a consultation like we're getting into here, where we go back through your song multiple times and really dive in, go to my profile, click on the link, and then read through and follow all of the details there. You can check the line on the other platforms that we're live on, but you can also find at my link as well. I'm going to run this from the top. Right off the bat, here's one of the things that I'm going to kind of listen for and potentially we can dig into just very, very briefly. Foundationally, this is a great song. You have a distinct hook. It's powerful. It's anthemic. You have a good pocket on the drums. I mean, quick releases on the pings on the ride. Like there's a lot of great things that are happening. I mean, it's overdriven. It's feeding back. There's a gnarliness to the, I don't know if that's a gnarliness. Is that a word? There's a gnarliness to the vocal. Like it's got a lot of really great things that are going on. The thing I would be careful of is kind of hyper repetition of a lot of the same bum, 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 bum. If it's a lot of that same E minor, G, the E minor, G major, D major, C major, and that's obviously that is the progression for the whole song. It is a word now, gnarliness. Put it in the dictionary. Like that to me is, there's nothing wrong with the progression. There's a lot of songs that have the same progressions and stuff. To me, as you're going through different pockets of the song, the different breakdowns start to slowly lose their meaning as that repetition continues. So even going like, you start with a guitar solo strong, nothing wrong with that, especially in this genre and you're performing live and doing a lot of live tracking. Nothing wrong with starting with the heavy guitar solo, beautiful. Good tone on the guitar, all of that fun stuff. When you go back into the same, or not the same, but you go back into another guitar solo and the exact same progression, exact same like ride patterns and stuff like that, that's where you start to have, your brain starts to having heard this information before, and it loses its impact a little bit, and you do a little breakdown at the next little section right there. But it's the exact same muted rhythm on the guitars, exact same progression. So every little step that you take to try to get more dynamics out of this, we lose a little bit of it. we lose a little bit of like the impact of these different sections because it's so repetitive on the progression. So I'm curious if there's some moments where you could simply hold, any genre, Bella, hold on just the E minor, maybe with some extensions. So like here, yeah, it did change the drums a little bit. The main thing for me is the progression, and then what happens over it, and the rhythm of that progression. So the drums, obviously, they move to like the open ride. They change some patterns. The dynamics change a little bit, but this energy here is the vast majority of the song, kind of start to finish. So I'm curious if there's some moments where you could open it to being more of a have some of that little, kind of crunchy energy, some dissonance and some tension there. It could be helpful on like your low breakdown, and then open it up a little bit. But let's get into the song. Let's listen to it so we can kind of address it directly. But that's the only thing that it's not even that it's wrong, right? It's not even that it's like a bad thing in the song. My curiosity and like my intuition is, even with cool drums, great vocals, awesome solos, too much repetition of an individual element can become monotonous, even when like you feel like the energy should be there. So that's kind of what I'm listening for. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It just means that's something I would look at. That's something that I would kind of address and go back into the song and say like, okay, is there any way we can shift the energy beyond just percussion, but the main foundation of the song? So let's actually listen for it and kind of dive into it. Proxy, welcome in. I appreciate y'all being here so much. Welcome into the stream. Y'all keep tapping the screen. We only have about 3 more songs, short and sweet today. 3 more songs. If you would like to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, read through and follow the details there, but we're not listening to a ton of songs today, so I would get in sooner than later, as it is going to be a little bit more brief today. This is Ready to Rock by Good Nuff. That's Erica Hart right here in the chat. This is a phone demo. It's about as raw as it gets. Like I told y'all, we get voice memos, we get Grammy-winning musicians, it's all over the place. You don't have to worry about your quality. You don't have to feel insecure in any way or form about how you're presenting your music, because we are going to get into the details. I'm not just like, that's good or bad, because this isn't even in that process to be able to dissect that yet. We're going to really get into the nuances of it as much as we have the capacity to. All right, Ready to Rock, Good Nuff, Erica Hart right here in the chat.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So starting right heavy with that progression. Nothing wrong with that. I'm here's my initial perspective too. Trimming the fat here a little bit. It starts with a major over the top. I don't know if it keeps doing that. Let me hear it again. Because essentially it's an E minor, G major, C major. That's the progression. The lead guitar bumps up to a G sharp, making that an E major over an E minor chord, right? So E minor chords underneath with an E major riff at the top. You can hear this like first note here at like 18 seconds or something. Right in here. It does do it both times. So if you're gonna follow that there, I'd make that really prominent, because that changes the feel of it right there a little bit as well. Chance is in the building. Chance, let me get you up on the board, brother. I appreciate you tapping back in. Boom, boom, boom. You're up. You're ready to go. I appreciate you, man. Welcome back. Welcome back. So here's what I'm going to listen for. I don't think when you go 1, 2, 3, 4, I have an expectation of full dynamics right there. If you're going to start that strong, where we're not starting with like low toms or something like a boom, 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 boom. We're not starting low and then having to build up again. We're starting full on. Excuse me. We're starting full on. 1, 2, 3, go. We're all the way there. Dynamics at a 10 right off the bat. Love it. Fantastic, especially in this genre. I would go straight into the lead melodies. Like if you're going to go there, go straight into it. Right now there's buildup in between with nothing there. Starts a little bit loose. And we build up again. I don't think we need to stair step there. I think you could probably save like 15, 17 seconds in the early part of the song by just 1, 2, 3, go, ba-da-da-da, and go straight into your initial riff right there, because that is going to be this first section. There's no identifiable underline, right? There's no identifiable riff about the progression, because it is just the drums and the progression. I would prefer personally speaking, this, it's not right or wrong, but personally speaking, it will be more attractive to listen to, and more, you'll get more people locked in sooner if you go straight into an identifiable part of the song. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. And then you're straight in. You go straight into that melody with the lead guitar, heavy on the riff. Both, double track guitars are in, drums are coming in strong. That to me, it's for one, you take a 4-minute, so far, you take a 4-minute and 30-second song, you bring it down at least to like 4:15. We're starting to chip away at it a little bit. You can consolidate this, cut some of the fat in there too, and go straight to an initial, drop the first section and go 1, 2, 3, 4, riff. And then just give yourself like 8 measures there, or whatever you need to right there to run through the riff, and then go from there. Because I think it goes to a solo after that too. Let me see. Memorial Drive, welcome in. Let's see where it goes. Yeah, especially if you're going to do a solo off the rip. If you're going to do a solo off the rip, nothing wrong with that. I love me a good solo. If you're going to do one off the rip, then definitely probably cut the first section. That way you have identifiable song, cool solo, structure begins. If it's like, 8 measures of 8 measures of just progression, another 8 measures of a riff, and then another 8 to 16 bars of soloing before a vocal even hits, before even like a song structure begins, I just feel like you will probably lose people. Like it takes a little bit of time to even just get into the meat of the song. So personal preference is we start with the riff, song is identifiable right away. 1, 2, 3, 4, riff, and then go straight into the solo for the next, I guess like maybe 4 to 8 measures right there, transition straight into the main structure of the song there. I can't wait to hear this track. It was written in a single jam session that we had a deadline of 3 weeks for battle. Yeah, let's go. Sometimes the best creativity comes with limitation. I was talking about this yesterday. I won't go into it right now because I'm short on time, but we were talking about this yesterday a bit of like sometimes the limitations, the timing issues that you have, they can become the breeding ground for great creativity. Because like we have to do this in a way that makes sense. We have to do that. It can force you into some methods that maybe you wouldn't go into otherwise. So I'm all for even creating like manufactured limitations. Like sometimes for like a song or a production or like a package that I want to build or like whatever, something I want to do with synths, like I'll create just my own limitations in order to like try to do the most that I can within that structure. And I think that can be helpful for creativity oftentimes. So we're back into this progression. Nothing wrong with that. It's a 16 bar verse at least here. Here's the next 8. 2, 3, 4. And then this should be in your head, like as far as like you singing the song and writing the song, is this still a verse right here? Is this like because it opens up, I hear the riff, I hear the E major come back in. Is this still the verse right here? And it doesn't, okay. So at this point, there's nothing, again, with any of this, they're stylistic choices for the most part. At this point, we already have 16 measures so long intro, at least 16 measures on a verse. I'm assuming this is going to push into like at least 24 measures on a verse before a hook hits. That's a long time. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means we can't harp on the same progression with like the same sound design. The drums open up on the open hat a little bit and that new melody comes in, but the main thing you feel in the song is it's mainly like that's what you feel for the most part. The other parts of it are just kind of ear candy. I would suggest maybe let me see how long this shifts right here. How many more measures this goes. This is where I would potentially recommend that you like change the like maybe make this part right here kind of a pre-chorus, and maybe change the progression for a moment and then go back into the progression again. It just needs some restraint from that, and then you can go back into it and it feels like it matters a little bit more. That's a really like 24 measures, 24 to 32 measures. That's 24 to 36 measures. That's a long 32. Yeah, sorry. 24 to 32. What was I saying? 24 to 32 measures. That's a long verse. Let me hear how long this next part is here. fret 20. "24 measures. Yeah. 28 measures. 32 measures. There's no cut and dry way to do this. A typical verse structure, especially at this BPM. It's a fast song, fast-ish song. At this BPM, a typical verse would probably be 16 measures or 16 bars, right? 16 measures is like typical. If you want to expand past that with like an extended section or like a pre-chorus, another 4 might make some sense. Push it to about 20 measures. We're past the 16 to 20 to 24 to 28 to 32. Each verse here is like the length of two full verses, not even like partial quick pop verses, 2 full verses. You said you cut more too, like 2 full verses. So you can definitely do that. There, again, it's nothing wrong with it. It is just it's going to become monotonous to listen to, even if it sounds cool, even if the guitars are powerful, even if your voice is doing cool things, even if the lyrics are really awesome. That to me is challenging. If you want to go that long, or maybe you can trim the fat a little bit there. If you want to go that long, we just definitely need chord changes. We need sound design to change. Do we need to change the as a singer to make it different? I think, in my opinion, all of it needs to shift a little bit. If that progression keeps going, and then so you go 30, you basically do 2 verses back to back, 2 full verses back to back. You go all the way through 32 measures, 32 bars, and then you do build up to the hook, which is the exact same guitar underneath it. Drums build up, but the exact same guitar underneath it. So there, you don't even necessarily, "What's up, Snow? What's up, Snow? Welcome in. It's so good to see you." It's so good to see you. I'm so surprised to see that name pop up in the chat. I hope you're doing better. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for hopping in for a little bit. Thank you for being here. Sorry, man, I just lit up a little bit. That's amazing. So yeah, that length right there, we definitely need to change, right? From the E minor, G major, D major, C major, right? The main structure that we have here. I would recommend you can change to the A minor. And then push into like the next section. And then change back to the E minor, G. You know what I mean? Like just even going from like the A minor to the C to the D, A minor, C to the E minor again. That shifts the energy. That shifts the energy a little bit right there for at least like the next 8 measures or something like that. And then you can, transition back into the chorus where you go back to the original progression. Keep us realize I'm so happy to see you. You too, Snow. I appreciate you. I appreciate you tapping in for a little bit. That's kind of what I'm talking about, right? Is how you do that and how you cut lyrics down, if you do that at all, how you change progression. That's really up to y'all to, toil with a little bit and kind of see what works and see what makes sense for the song while still getting all of that energy in there. But objectively speaking, not even like if I like the way it sounds, but objectively speaking, that is very long. That is from most technical standpoints, 2 full verses, and then a build up to the same progression. So if you want, you don't have to even change anything. Obviously, it's your song. I want you to get as much as you can out of it, but that is a very long verse after a 3-section intro going into a full chorus, right? So the song will just start to feel stretched out, where, in my opinion, based on the progression and what you have, this is a 4.5-minute song that potentially could be like a 3-minute and 15-second song because it's fast paced. It's got a solid BPM. It's high energy production. Y'all are good musicians, good writers. So for me, my next challenge for you would be whether you do or not, is there any places in here where we can tighten this up? We can trim the fat a little bit. We can cut some lyric structure, or maybe you do, if you want to shift it a little bit, maybe you do a 16 measure verse, right? A 16 bar verse. You do a quick little guitar solo interlude, and then go back to a 16 measure verse. And then you do like a 3 verse format instead of 2, right? There's some different ways you can approach it to make sure the energy shifts more often than 32 measures on a verse. You could do 16, build it up like crazy, do something cool. bring it back down for another 16, build it up like crazy, do your big hook, then you bring it back down for just a 16 measure verse, then you do a guitar solo and a bridge and an outro with the breakdown, right? Maybe it's still a 4.5 minute song, but it's more interesting to listen to. Right now, it's too much of the same for too long, where you're just gonna lose people's attention, right? So that's one option. Yeah, that's one option. You just shift the energy a little bit, build up the dynamics. You start with the solo, low verse, bring it up to a big solo for a second, or not a solo, just a big breakdown with the drums and the guitars, bring it back down, big hook, find some ways to kind of weed through that. In my opinion, this probably should take a little bit of all of that. I would still cut down the intro a little bit. That first part, so you go straight into the riff, into the solo. I would still see if there's any places where we can cut down. If you're going to do a second verse right there again, you might want to trim that to 8 measures instead of the full 16, so it's more interesting. Little things like that. But that to me is like, obviously we're not going to touch the mix here. That's the biggest thing that I want to address over the the full song here, because that's structural stuff. The mix can always be mixed. This is just an iPhone recording. That I'm not worried about that. Y'all are great musicians. Y'all are good writers and stuff like that. So I'm not too worried about that. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. 100%. What's up, BXN? Welcome in. Welcome in. Or is it Ben? Great solo. The list is on the other platforms that we're live on, so if you want to see the line, order minimum, stuff like that, just go to either YouTube or Twitch. You can find them at my link. And if you want to submit, all of that happens at my profile if you click on the link. Break it down here a little bit. So like here, when you break it down here, this is where I would maybe shift energy to like just holding on the E minor with some like extended chords and stuff like that, and just come down to this, like break it down from it to the ready to love. You know what I mean? Like you can break it down to a moment here where we just go straight to the E minor, we hold, the guitars go down to a mute, no changing chords. Are we ready to rock? Build all of that energy, make it really, really anthemic, double up the vocals, just bring in some maybe toms on the drums for a B section right there, build it up in a way that feels just at least a little bit different. Otherwise, if we're, again, straight back to E minor, G, D, C, we go straight back to that same progression again. It's a cool dynamic shift. I hear the energy shift a little bit, but it's, again, a lot of repetition on that same chord progression. So if you shift even just the energy right there, build it up a little bit different, and then go straight back into it, I think you'll be in a really, really good spot, as opposed to being too much of the same. I might have to leave soon. Will it be right now? Give me just 1 second. Right now, let me know how soon. Oh, you can't use an I didn't know that, Alec. I didn't know that. Through the website? Sounds good, Snow. Sounds good. Yeah, right now I have, right as of this current moment, Chance, let me know how much time you have. I know you've waited a couple lives, so do you want to, matter of minutes. Yeah, I'll add tears. Man. I'll give you another boost. If I have to save you, I'll always make sure that I give you another boost. That way I can make sure that you're good to go. Because obviously I can't complete the whole thing in a matter of minutes. So yeah, I got you, man. Of course. I got you saved on my list. I'll make sure that you have whatever boost that you need. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. But yeah, those are kind of my bullet points here, Erica. Obviously you are talented. You know what you're doing. I love a lot of the raw sound too. That's not something that I would shy away from. I like the really like raw, organic garage band sound that you'll have. To me, that's very endearing to listen to. It's fun and it's exciting to listen to. So that to me is really, really fun. I can screen record your response and leave my phone open so I can save the tips. Chance, they're saved anyways. It's up to you. I mean, the thing is, I typically like to get some feedback back and forth, as you've seen. Like I like to ask and get some response where I can like ask a question, but like, wait, what is happening here? So I can get a response back. So I typically prefer that people are here, but also keep in mind that all of these are recorded. So on YouTube, there's a playlist. Called Track Talk Livestream, and it has every single episode right there as I've been tracking them. It's been hundreds more than that, but every episode on there. So like this will be episode 83. So even if you do like fall asleep in the middle of a breakdown or something like that, or you have to leave for any reason, every single one of these are saved. But I'll never listen without you. I'll always want to make sure that you're taken care of. Yeah, I got you. But yeah, I like when y'all are here so that we can go back and forth a little bit and make sure that I'm getting the information that I want as far as where you're trying to go with your music, because that helps me. I want to be as valuable as possible. So that's why I don't like just like this is good and this is bad or whatever. Here's my, subjective opinion. Like I like to know like you're doing this, but you're telling me this is what you want. Here's how we bridge that gap. But I can't get that if we don't go back and forth a little bit. Okay, let me get into the outro here just really, really quick. And then I think that's snow coming in right there. So let me get that updated here in a second too. Come on. It's not letting me. Hey, have a good one, man. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for tapping in again. I got you. I'll get you boosted as well, man. Doesn't want to play the file now. Hold on. Let me skip it. Okay. Got you. Yeah, show some love. That is Erica Hart right here in the chat. That is Ready to Rock by Good Nuff, the band. Good Nuff, the band. They've got some really, really cool work. They're raw. They're unhinged in their production, and I love it. They got a lot. They have a lot of really, really cool stuff that y'all can check out. So make sure that y'all are following them. Make sure that you are along for the journey as these bands build up their catalog, build up their quality, and improve on what they're doing. So y'all show some love. Mikkel, welcome in. I appreciate you being here, and also show some love to the vocalist and writer Erica Hart right here in the chat. Once again, that's Ready to Rock by Erica Hart. The phone demo, it's raw. And I'm excited to get that one recorded and get that one set up structurally for you. I think it's going to be a really, really powerful, good song, especially live. I think it's going to be really fun. Y'all show some love one more time. Let's keep it rolling. Let me get this refreshed over here. Snow, I've got you up on the board. I'm just waiting for the sun god to send in the file, and then we will be ready to go. I hope y'all are doing amazing. Make sure y'all are tapping the screen, share out the live with a few people. Don't forget to send your heart me for the day. It does really help out. We're going to listen to, I think, like 2 or 3 more songs. Nothing too crazy today. 2 or 3 more songs, and then we are out of here. So if you want to submit earlier rather than later, just because it is going to be a short live, and I want to make sure that as many of y'all can get heard as possible. But it's going to be concise today. Okay, let me update a few things over here. Line should be updated as well. And we'll get things rolling in just a moment. But I hope y'all are doing amazing. Hope y'all are doing awesome. Tom Eats in the building. Chris, welcome in. Keith's in the building. What's up, Keith? Welcome in. Let's see. Let me double check something real quick, and then we'll get rolling. Thank y'all so much for tapping in today. If y'all are coming in for the first time too, I would love to know where y'all are joining from. I'd love to know what kind of music you make. We're gonna get into I think just a handful of songs here in just a moment. Just waiting on the email to come in, and then we'll be ready to go. Mix Salad in the building. What's up, Mix Salad? How you feeling today? Rain's in the building. What's up, Rain? Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Y'all keep tapping the screen. Share out the live. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. How do you get song to mix? Do they send you the stems? Yeah, just all the multi-track. I typically have them send all the recorded tracks printed just in Wave, and then I'll mix everything remotely, 100%. And then if there's like specific tonal things that you want, of course, you can print those as well. Like if there's there's a delay that's baked into the guitar and that's what they want there, then of course keep all of that stuff from like the pedals and the the mics and stuff in the amp. But yeah, send me everything dry. That way I can do what I need to on the other side to process, clean up, and take care of it. And then of course, do what we need to do on the other side of it. But yeah, I just handle everything remotely. You can send me a Dropbox, a WeTransfer, a zipped file, whatever it needs, and then I'll open it up in Pro Tools and get everything balanced out. Thank you, Snow. I appreciate it. I really like this piano. But let me slather it a little bit more. All right. Let's see. Let's switch back over here. Jose, welcome in. Zoe's in the building. What's up, Zoe? Welcome in. And y'all, for y'all that are just coming in too, I'm just waiting on a file really quick, just waiting on a song to come in. If y'all are wanting to submit your music, Jeffrey, welcome in. Excuse me. If you would like to submit your music for a 20 to 30 minute multiple listen deep dive consultation on the structure of your music, go to my profile, click on the link, read through and follow all of the details there. You can check the line on the other platforms that we're live on. And we'll get into a 20 to 30 minute multiple listen detailed consultation on your mix, production, sound design, lyric, and song formatting, whatever would be valuable to you and beneficial to you and would help you out with what you're doing. That is the structure of what we do here. They tend to be about 20 to 30 minutes long per breakdown. Yep, exactly. Yeah, still track talk submission, 100%. If you would like to submit for that, go to my profile, click on the link, read through and follow the steps. If you're on the purple app, you can type !submit. If you're on the red app, you can go to the description for the live stream and you'll see everything that you need right there. Waiting. Not yet. It might, if it's a wave, it might take just a little bit to come in. Lil Blue Song is in the building. Welcome in. What's up, Mixed by Sam? Good to see you. Hope you're doing all right. Would help if I hit send. I mean, it tends to. We can try it. We can try it either way. What gear am I selling? I am selling a bunch of random stuff in here because I'm getting a bunch of new things in here. I am selling like a vintage 90s Pearl Vision Birch drum set. It's the all Birch drum set. Fantastic drum set. I'm selling some of the hardware with that. I'm selling a Yamaha DX21. I'm selling a Line 6 75 watt Spider Jam. I'll probably keep the sequencer for now. I'm selling a Yamaha PSS 170. What else am I selling? I might sell my ART voice channel. It's a tube preamp. Tube preamp with EQ, de-essing, gating. It's a whole channel strip. So it's a tube compressor, preamp, EQ, all of that. I love it. It's what I have on my vocal right now. It's all analog tube preamp, EQ compressor. I love it. It's fantastic. I've used it for a long time, but I'm getting some new stuff in. So I'm selling that. What else am I selling in here? I'm selling my Fender amp because I want to get my Vox back in here. So I'm selling my Fender DeVille 410. What else am I selling? I'm selling my Insonic. It's a SQ1 Plus. It's like an early 90s Rompler synth, which I really like, but I'm getting new stuff in here, so I'm switching out. I think that's about it. I'm selling like a bunch of random stuff. And then getting some fresh stuff in here. Yeah, that's fine. I always tell people these are long and they're detailed and they cost. So when people are sending AI, the thing that I recommend is just let me know exactly how I can help you, because it's not just a play to see if we like what you do or if you like what you're writing. It's detailed. It's a long consultation. There's a lot of nuance to what we're doing. So if you are sending something like that, then I just want to know how I can actually be helpful. If we can talk through song structure, songwriting, formatting, phrasing, cadence, stuff like that, we can really get into those. We can still get into those details. But yeah, it's just limited because obviously I'm not going to really touch your mix. I'm not going to, break down stuff like that you have less control over. If you're writing and then, demoing with AI or something like that, we can break down some of the actual song structure and phrasing, formatting, lyrics, things like that. Do you still listen to Linkin Park? Every once in a while. It's been a little while since I've pulled them up. Let me see. I don't know why it's It was just in drafts and was blissfully unaware. It's still not coming through. I don't know where it is. Let me try refreshing again. What's your favorite song? Impossible question. What I listen to and enjoy depends on the mood that I'm in. Depends on a lot of things. Depends on the weather. I don't know. There's no possible. I listen to so much music on a daily basis, and just through my job, through consultations, through so many different things that I do. There, through working on music, there's just no possible way I could choose a favorite song. I mean, there's some songs that I I really like Kavinsky. I like some of the Midnight stuff. I like Tears for Fears, Depeche Mode. Like there's a lot of stuff that I enjoy a lot of. It's impossible for me to pick favorite songs. It's just there's too much music out there. What's up, Boogie Man? Welcome in. Yeah, try it again really quick. I don't know why it's not coming in. The track talk submission at Gmail. Let's double check that it's in the right spot. Try it again. It bounced to my drafts again. I don't know why. What the hell? Maybe is a storage on there? Maybe like the storage on the email or something that you're sending from. Maybe I don't know. It's weird that it was still drafted though. Benjamin's in the building. What's up, Benjamin? Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Faux beat music. Welcome in as well. I appreciate you tapping in. Welcome into the live. Space Taco, what's up? Been a minute, man. Extra busy is a good thing sometimes. Sometimes it's overwhelming and overstimulating, but for the most part, these days, I feel like being busy can usually be a fairly beneficial thing. Usually. It also is like overwhelming. I do like 21 Pilots. I think their songwriting storytelling is the next level. Yeah, they're awesome. Their drummer's great. I've kind of kept up with stuff over time as well. But yeah, they're solid. I got no complaints. No complaints. I enjoy a lot of music for a lot of different reasons. You know, there's not thank you, Vi, I appreciate it. There's not like a style of music that I just like don't like. I like all music for different reasons and different times and different contexts, right? It just kind of depends on the mood. You know, in the same way that I'm not listening to like heavy metal when I'm trying to fall asleep. Like there's a little it kind of just depends. Let me turn on my dial-up internet. I don't know why it's being so slow. No worries. It's kind of a chill live today. A little bit later, I'm gonna be out on the other side of the city for the rest of the afternoon, so it's kind of a chill live today regardless, so no worries. I might cut it down to the last two though, just because I don't really have that much time. I don't have that much time. The queue is pretty open right now. I'm waiting on some files to come in. So I can get it last, but we only have like 2 songs. It's very, very short, condensed live today. Okay, sounds good. No worries. Take your time. I'm chilling. But yeah, the queue's pretty open. It's not a very long live. We're closing things early. It's going to be pretty concise today. So I'm not too worried about the queue. Up to you, Erica. Up to you. Completely up to you. I mean, I'm always down to listen to what y'all are working on. Is it J Love? I can't see it. I think it's J Love Michael. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. Sammy, yes, this is a paid service. This isn't a review. There's no trash or pass. There's no ratings, polls. I'm not like rating your song, giving you a poll, listening once and saying get a better mix, bro, and then move on. This is a structured 30-minute multiple listen deep dive consultation. So we're diving into a lot of the nuances of your music, listening to your song usually 2 or 3 different times in order to actually get into those details, talk through mix and master, production elements, sound design choices, lyric and song formatting, kind of depending on what the artist, producer, session musician, or whoever's in front of us is looking to get out of their music. So it's a long form, detailed thing. So this is not a 5-minute, live music review. We, listen for a second. I say, dude, I love it, or you're hype, or I completely cut around it, and go really fast. It is a very detailed breakdown. Let me see, Erica, I got you. Erica, I appreciate you so much. Do you mind? Snow, do you mind if we run? What's up, baby blue? Welcome in. It's good to see you. Steaks, good to see you, brother. Do you mind if I run Erica really quick while y'all are getting the file in. I just broke down one of their songs. And they sent in another one at the same spot that you're in. And then let me see. It did just come in. So what I'll probably do is I'll just run y'all. I think Erica, you'll probably close us out because I think that's all I have time for. So Erica, you'll close us out. So I'm going to run Snow. Snow, I got yours in. You're right here. Let me get you downloaded, actually. No, you're good. I got yours in, and it's on top right there. So we're gonna run Ever Snow, and then Erica will close out with yours today. I only hour and a half. No, I only have time for, that's what I have on the list. I only have time for 2 more. So don't submit. I'm gonna go ahead and close the line. And then I'll no, you're good, baby blue. No worries. It's a short live. You're not really missing too much. I will be out of the city tomorrow. And I will maybe live on Sunday afternoon. Maybe. I'm not positive. Okay, so let me go ahead and close up the line. So Erica, you're going to close out the live. So I have Snow's file in. Thank you, Blue. I appreciate it. We're going to run Snow's first, and then yours going to close us out. Your file is actually going to be the one that ends the live. We're only going to do 2 more songs, so no one else is going to skip and come in late. We're going to close it out right there. So Ever Snow, and then Erica Hart, y'all are going to close us out. Let me get these all downloaded here. And let me update the line over on the other platforms real quick. All right. I don't know why I'm all caps with this. Hold on. I appreciate y'all so much. All right, these are going to be our last 2 songs, y'all. Last two songs. And Chance will be saved, but I'm going to go ahead and add the 5 to Chance because we are saving his again. So I'll make sure that I give him that boost for the next time as well. All right, this is, and then Snow, give me all the details. This is Fight for the Throne. Gracie, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Fight for the Throne. This is a Snow production. Let's go. Update from November. Fight for the Throne. Okay, so I've heard a version of this before. Am I correct in assuming that? This is 129 BPM, the key of B minor. This is Snow. We love guys. We love y'all too. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are always amazing. You heard this in November, and I finally revisited it, peeled back some elements. Let's dive in. It's downloaded. We're ready to run. It has this early fanfare, you know what I mean? Which is cool. It's very medieval, which makes sense with the name. It's very Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Sounds good. It's so good to see you in here. I appreciate you tapping in again. I know it's been a minute. Heavy brass. I like a ton of different music. I tend to gravitate towards 80s sound design, so synths. I like music with synths, but I like all music for a lot of different reasons. Definitely, Erica. Thank you for the Go Popular, Benjamin. I appreciate you. I don't know if I missed that earlier. Like the space. What's up, Ben? Welcome in. It's time for the final battle. One of the cleanest scoring productions that I've heard from you. There's a couple little timing things that I think we could line up a little bit so that the transitions feel a little bit more together. But this is way cleaner than I think I've heard a lot of your production structures. Love it. Love it. Awesome, Snow. Those kind of like really like beefy, low brass hits right there. Those feel a lot more together. Love it. Way better. Joey, welcome in. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Y'all, please show some love to the family. The family, the family, the family. We love and adore Eversnow, Rage of Helios. It's absolutely the family. Friends of Libby and I like absolutely love them. If you ever find them live, please show them some love. Send them money. Send them gifts. There's enough to go around for everybody. Show them some love and support. That's the family right there. Give it up for Eversnow. She produced this. Kabi, we are not listening to popular artists here. Shout out to Connor Price. He's a great independent artist. But we're not listening to popular artists here. We are helping out in consulting with independent musicians, artists, producers, vocalists, songwriters, engineers, so on and so on. I appreciate you joining the stream, though. Thank you for stopping by for a little bit. We got one more song after this one, which is going to be Erica Hart right here in the chat with their band. But let's run this from the top. So here's this to me already. We love y'all too. This to me is already a huge step forward in structure. One of the things that we've talked about a lot in the past that I feel like you've addressed here, I think in a really meaningful way, is making sure that you have like a more solid foundation of like when you're doing bass elements or like big low end elements, that they are more consistent and follow like a more consistent pattern, and you can float away over the top of it a little bit. But it's if the bottom is, and it's always moving around like that, then the high end's also doing that. That's where it just kind of gets noisy. And it's like, I like the sound of strings, but what they're doing feels chaotic. You're doing a much better job of like holding on some of these notes and like making it a little bit more formatted, but not too polished and not too tight. So I can appreciate the amount of focus that you've put in like giving this a better foundation that you can float away on. I think that's awesome. So that to me is a huge step forward and improvement. The thing that like I try each time to kind of give us like one little focus point. So my one focus point for this song for you is your starting and stopping points of introducing new things that you're doing. So this is kind of the one little pocket that I think we can focus on for like this particular song, but for sure affects every song that you're working on. So obviously with a lot of the stuff that we talk about, feel free to copy and paste to a lot of the other stuff that you're doing. It's when you're introducing a new melody, right? Like a new little... You're doing some like new part of the song with like some strings or brass at the top or a harp or a piano or whatever it may be. When you introduce that element and when you stop that element and how that kind of collaborates with the other things that are happening in the song. The transitioning, better transitioning. Yeah. So it's some transitions. Now, some of them are great. Like when you emptied out to the piano, gorgeous. Love it. It's so much more intentional and like you're doing it on purpose. And it feels like now we're all here in this moment in the scene. It's beautiful. Love that. It's partially transitions. It's also just how you introduce things. So one example is, and of course we'll play through it and I can kind of show you where as this happens, but it's sprinkled out through a lot of the song. You'll start doing something on the piano and then start doing something on the strings right here and then start doing a new melody and then change the piano and then a new melody and start something different. And then you kind of hold there for a second and then the piano stops and then you randomly stop a string and then something else stops. There's not really a consistent moment where things like happen together and stop together. I would love a few moments. It doesn't have to be the whole time, right? But a few moments of multiple elements introducing themselves at the same time and removing themselves at the same time, because that's going to make it feel like things are working together. To give you a very basic example that's not what you're doing, but kind of to give it perspective, it's like imagine you have like a typical pop song. Again, very different from what you're doing, but structurally it'll make sense. You have a typical pop song, and on the verse, you have maybe acoustic guitars that are on the left and the right. You've got drums, bass, and the lead vocal, and they're all right there. And then all of the sudden, to start the hook or the next section of the song, in your case, cinematically, it's a little bit different. You're going to start the next part of the song. We add in 2 electric guitars, 2 synths, and like a synth bass and harmonies all at the same time. And because they happen all at the same time, it kind of triggers the brain to recognize the next movement, the next phase of the song being the hook in this case, right? And so kind of what I'm looking at in this end, if you want to kind of trigger the brain to perceive the next thing that's happening, the next part of the journey, the next little left turn that you take us on, then starting and stopping multiple elements close together is really beneficial to doing that. In the same way that if I started what you know is like the hook of a pop song, but it started with none of the elements really kicking in, and then half a second later a bass came in, and then a second and a half later like 2 guitars started playing 2 different parts, and then randomly 4 seconds later, kind of halfway into like the second word of the hook, another synth came in at the top, and you'd be like, it's kind of a confusing signal that happens, and it makes it harder to kind of align and follow the journey that's happening. Like if cello and violin stop, then horns and piano, then cello. Yeah, exactly. Like choose some segments, like choose a couple instruments, like maybe your really lead elements, like you have a really high trumpet and a violin at the very top, and they introduce like a lead melody, and then stop them at the same time, right? And maybe they still fade or whatever. You could do kind of whatever you want with that. But yeah, and then like the cello and the piano are together, and they're following a similar progression, and they change kind of together, and then these are doing it and they follow together. And then you transition everything out to the piano. Beautiful. You did that already. Everything kind of works together, and then everything comes back in at the same time, or a similar time at least, in kind of a structure to where it tells me I'm in the next little moment. Whether in this case it's a hook verse, it's not really the case, right? But it tells me I'm in the next phase, tells me I'm in like the next scene, whether it's like we're running and then we're running through a forest, and then we trip on a log and it's the next little thing right here, and then we're back up running, whatever the scene may be, and however you kind of dissect that, it's taking people along, that journey together, and everything points into the different scenes and is very consistent within those scenes. So anyways, long-winded answer to basically saying, like, make sure that several of your elements do work together and follow together to tell the listener where we are, right? I think if you do a little bit more of that, you've already gotten way better foundation, way better dynamic range. Like when you cut to the piano, it was like a sigh of relief. It's like, oh my gosh, like that all worked together so beautifully. It's so cohesive, like it all flowed together. Obsessed with that. Awesome. Let's get a couple of the other elements kind of doing the same thing so your dynamics feel more consistent. You'll be locked in. You'll be rocking. I love it. So like right there, you hear like it's kind of hard to hear because there's multiple elements kind of happening at the same time, but you can kind of hear like the dun 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 dun, that changes, and then the piano keeps doing its thing, but then you shift with different timing. You shift to the dun right here, but the piano kind of keeps going on this one, but then the piano changes a little bit after, and then there's another dun dun dun, like all that in the background. There's like a couple little things, they change their timing and change what they're doing at slightly different moments, and because that happens, it makes it feel a bit more unstable. Some of that can be intentional, and you can be, you can kind of compartmentalize that and keep it as a part of the song, but just be aware of that as you're producing. Snow's doing all of this. She's putting all of this in MIDI. She's tracking all of this stuff. This is all, I think, all of like VSTs and plugins and stuff like that, but she wrote and produced the whole thing. So then those at the top right there, love that they're there. But what if those, if you had this kind of, it's a little bit kind of out of time and it's a little flowy, but then when you hit the low B minor at the bottom with that big brass, that happens at the same time as you hit the D with the high brass. And then all of a sudden, like you're starting here, maybe, you're starting. And then you transition at the same time, and then you have this huge chord from the low brass and the high brass. They happen at the same time, and it gives you this burst of energy. But if it's kind of, don't do that, Jesus, that's terrible. You're kind of right in here. You hear how it because of those timing shifts in between each one, we lose the energy of the big chord that happens with the high and the low. So little things like that of like combining some of those elements so that they like work together to build the emotion that you want. If they're all happening at different moments, that's where you'll lose a little bit of like the actual impact of them being there. Little trills come in, tremolo. Like I love that little tremolo in there, beautiful. So like right there, these really nice strings that come in right there on the slightly to the left right there. And then the brass goes bum. So I'm trying to give you some like moments you can kind of look for and then dissect that yourself. Where it's like, I hear bum, and then randomly, these like high strings on this side. If that just went together, and those all like happened at the same time where the strings swelled up, the bass hit low, that's like so much more emotional when you hear that because there's so much more energy and life to it. So obviously you can ignore the timing that I'm doing a lot of this and just take the concept into the way that you're producing it. And I think it'll make more sense as you kind of build out the rest of the production. And this is such a massive improvement now. Like right there, when all of that hit that low B minor right there, don't do that. That low B minor, everything kind of hits right at the same time right there. So much more feeling to it. I want more moments where that happens. And more of those held notes. Once again, when you have this kind of constant shift octave, this kind of... When you have that constant movement in the brass on the low end down there, it makes it, again, a little bit unstable. Thank you for the follow, appreciate it. A little bit unstable underneath. And so the more moments you can have where you're holding and have more of that at the top of the brass low, these big tubas and trombones and stuff like that are holding more and more of the... context of like holding something low and it filling and being powerful and anthemic down here and doing whatever in the world you want to do over the top of it. That makes it, I mean, again, to me, that like wakes everything up. As we've talked about many times, having this kind of... where they're all doing the different things as opposed to... having interesting arpeggios and weird string movements and brass stabbing in at a moment has more foundation and context when that low element is smoothed out a little bit, not moving so much. Another little kind of nugget there. Okay, I want to get into the piano breakdown here really quick and past that point. Here, beautiful. Love this right here, love it. Perfect. Exactly what I want to happen in something like this. See how then the piano and the brass and then the string comes in, that little movement right there. Get on like a timing grid a little bit more and have like the high, like the lower brass comes in, dun, 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 and then the da, 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 those like higher movements that comes in with the brighter brass, and they work together to build that energy as opposed to just kind of, tiptoeing towards that dynamic. It comes in with a nice swell together and it makes it feel a little bit more broad. And then again, grounding. Even just doing that, it's like, ooh, it like solidifies things. It like lays this foundation for everything. It's like, ooh. Even if it sounds a little muddy with what I'm doing, it like kind of sets a tone that everything else moves over. Yeah. Now everything else kind of makes sense. It's contextualized by this bass. There's the brass. Now it's like reminding me of like this is a very different picture. Now it's like reminding me of some of the scoring in 24. Do y'all remember that old, you remember that old, whatever, like military drama or whatever you would even call it. I can't even think of what you would call it. 24, the old show. It was an interesting show. At the time, it was like groundbreaking. It reminds me of that a little bit, of the, this, that's like low energy held on a root note, and then you have this, or whatever. I don't even know the melody from memory from like 18 years ago, but that has that undercurrent, like, yeah, exactly, an undercurrent where it's like this low B is kind of the foundation of everything. Like even like a bass, a low string, a low piano. As soon as I just like start, I'll just randomly drop this in there, and it's like everything else, all of the sudden, everything else makes sense. You know what I mean? Where it's like you put in one puzzle piece, and then all these other things start to like, oh yeah, that's where all these other ones go too. They all kind of attach right there. That's kind of what the bass note and the consistency of that bass note and the timing of those elements does to the production. It just kind of just like lines everything up. You know what I mean? It puts everything in a line. It gives it context. It really, really locks everything in. And then just all of a sudden, it's like, it all lines up. It's like a magnet. You don't have to do this, and don't do it that often, whatever, but like with the brass hits, line those up would be nice. This all builds up nicely. What's up, Joseph? Welcome in. Build it up, build it up. Keep all of the energy moving forward. And then build it all up to like a climax. And then drop it all down to boom. And I let that resolve. Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the heart. Me, I appreciate it. Right? It's like if you can find a way as you're going through these different melodies at the top to just don't do that. Kind of build up. The piano's moving higher. And everything just like resolves and kind of floats away right there. But everything is like working together in its timing, working together in its like dynamic build up right there to become this huge climax. And then you suck the air out of the room. You know what I mean? You just, everything falls away, like low bass, like a low cello holds underneath that and just like fades out really nicely, like those things. But that can only happen in that context. It can only happen in that context. Thank you for the follow. If these elements work together, if they kind of start kind of trampling over each other a little bit, and then when you're about to reach the climax, the piano kind of stops for a little bit, and then the string is like leaves the right ear over here for a moment, and then right after it leaves the right ear right there, everything fades and kind of cuts down to the low note right there. Then you missed all of that like energy climax at the end of the song, and then the relief of like the low bass note to kind of resolve everything. So that's where you want the timing to line up somewhat, even if it's loose, but line it up somewhat to where everything kind of builds up together. It all goes to the very, very, very end of that measure, and then you close the door, you resolve on the low B minor, and you let everything kind of close out together. I think if you can do a little bit of that, it doesn't have to be all the time. You can still be free and interesting and authentic and quirky in the way that you're building all of this stuff, but it doesn't feel chaotic or just noisy without stability and like without some kind of like context underneath it. I think is going to be worlds improved. It's already worlds improved from when I first started in November, I think you said. Already worlds ahead of that. Better dynamic range, better clarity for like your piano line when you build down, better clarity and simplicity in your low brass. I think we can still err a little bit more that way with the low brass sometimes, but there's already a much improved foundation to the song. It's so much better. So now I think it's just lining up when you want increased energy, what happens at the same time to bring you there. And when you want to reduce dynamics and reduce energy in the mix, what leaves the mix together or joins a lower register and timing together to make that happen. And the more that kind of lines up and moves together to pull the listener along that journey, the more cohesive this is going to feel, the more inspiring and emotional it's going to feel for people that are listening to it. And overall, just better quality. It's going to sound, the mix will sound cleaner because things are moving together by default. They're not stepping on each other at all. Y'all, please show some love to the family. Eversnow, we love y'all. Y'all are amazing. I'm so excited about this for you. So excited about this. I've heard early versions of this. I've obviously heard early versions of some of your first productions. So I'm so thrilled with the energy that you're putting into what you do. It's very, anytime that someone takes the dive into producing, much less scoring, but producing, I'm all in. I love it so much. It makes me so happy. It's such a fulfilling part of the, music creative process. So I'm just so thrilled that you're doing it and sticking with it and revisiting it. That makes me so happy. So y'all, please show some love to the Absolute family. We love Eversnow. We love Rage of Helios. Please say hi to Helios for us. I don't think he was able to hop in today, so please show him send him our love. Say hi to him for both Libby and I. We love y'all so much. Y'all, please follow Eversnow and go support them if you see Snow or Helios live at any point. Helios does reviews. Send them your music. Send them skips. Send them gifts and galaxies and all that fun stuff. Please go show them some. In fact, like if you want to for a second here, we're getting one more song for Erica. Hop on. He's live right now. Go hop on over to his stream. Send him some gifts. Just everyone go over there and send them some roses, galaxies, whatever. Show them some love and support. We love y'all. Y'all are amazing. All right, Erica, you're gonna close this out. Once again, y'all. This is the health support. I'm working through the productions forum. I'm so excited. Yeah. Y'all are amazing. We love y'all so much. This is our last song. This is another one from Erica Hart. So this is gonna be the one that closes us out today. Another another rough phone demo. So definitely stick around. Let's get into it. This is called On the Prowl by Good Nuff. This is the band Erica Hart's vocals right here. Let's get into it. On the Prowl. We just heard another one from them. And so I'm excited to get into this one. Any other context, of course, please let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I'm assuming kind of the same format of things that y'all are working on. Let's dive into it. Last one, y'all. We'll be live again. I don't think I'll be live again. What's up, Derek? Welcome in. I don't, just usual. Perfect. Love it. I don't think I'll be live. No, I'll be out of city tomorrow. I'm going to be out tomorrow. I don't think I'll be around too much on Sunday. Maybe there is a partial chance that I might be live Sunday afternoon. Not positive, but I'll be out all day tomorrow, and most of Sunday. So anyways, just to keep that in mind for y'all that don't have saved credit or anything like that. All right. On the Prowl. Good Nuff right here. Backwoods Music. Thank you for the follow. Some classic rock. Bradford, welcome in. How many electric guitarists do y'all have? And y'all, we're closed up for today. Definitely make sure that you're following. We'll be live in a couple days. One lead, one rhythm. Perfect. Y'all are dope. I like it. I like what y'all do. Joseph, thank you so much for the bubble gum. I appreciate you, man. Sorry, I just saw that. Thank you so much. Sometimes the gifts come in super late. We got a little wah solo. Nice to talk about. Oh, that's killer. I love it. I love it. So you have a rhythm guitar, lead guitar, and a bass. Three guitars total, and then drums and vocal. Perfect. I love that he's using a talk box. That's great. Classic. Beautiful. Y'all show some up to Erica Hart. Let's dive straight into it, and then I'm out of here. Let's get into it from the top. So, much better structure as far as a comparison, which is unnecessary, but much better structure than the first one as far as timing for each of these different elements. And as you can see, it cuts the song to 3:15. Right? It's a little bit more concise while still having solos, still having breakdowns, intros, outros, so on and so on. So let's run it from the top. Again, these are phone demos. These are going to be tracked and recorded and then mixed and all that stuff, of course. Have a great weekend, Snow. Love and appreciate y'all so much. It's good to see you again. Once again, say what's up to Helios for us. All right, let's run it from the top. We'll dive into some details. But kind of right off the bat, a couple quick things. I want to identify, there's a couple moments on interludes between hook. So there's, I think between hook and verse, there's some shorter like 4-measure, 8-measure interludes where it's just the rhythm guitar. I think I'm going to double check really quick, or it's really quiet which might just be the phone, right? Mainly just rhythm guitar, maybe with a light riff, but I would love an identifiable hook, like an identifiable riff for the lead guitar to tell us this is the song, right? Kind of like we talked about with the last one. And then on the solo side, I think the rhythm guitar is in there. Obviously this will be different on the mix, but on the solo side with the talk box at the top, doing the lead, I would make sure that there's a really, really strong rhythm section underneath it that's very, very consistent, that holds it down. So you don't feel like you're missing anything when you shift to a higher register. Like when they shift up to a lead, I want to make sure that there's still really strong rhythm underneath it. Beyond that, I'm liking the structure on this one a lot. So let's run it from the top and then we'll get out of here. Good early introduction of the verse right there. Obviously, Rotten Apple's looking for the follow. I appreciate it. We're closed, y'all. We're closed. I'll be out tomorrow, maybe live on Sunday afternoon, but definitely Monday. I appreciate y'all tapping in, but yeah, line is closed today. This is our final song. I know that, keep in mind, of course, this is a demo, and so there's a lot of things that aren't what it's going to be when you actually record, but I would love a really strong roll and transition going from this verse in here. Drums come in a little bit late on the format, and then they don't really have a lead in. So at the end of this 16 measures, I would love for there to be like a really clean lead in, and then go into the next section right there that has, a really good formatted transition that makes it feel a little bit more energetic, tells us that we're moving into the next section of the song, gives you some support underneath the vocal so that you don't finish it and like loses energy, and then the next part just kind of starts. You want it to transition nice and strong. I think that when we recorded our drummer, our drummer was our, and our, wait, hold on. When we recorded our drummer was out and our rhythm guitar. Oh, okay. I was like, hold on 1 second. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. That's why that makes a lot of sense. That's why I'm hearing less of those transitions, and also why I'm only hearing really one guitar at a time. That's making all the sense in the world, because I'm hearing strong rhythm with no lead line. And then, like I mentioned earlier, I'm hearing a lead line with no support from the rhythm. That literally checks all the boxes. That makes all the sense in the world. Makes all the sense in the world. Okay, so yeah, basically, then the answer is, make sure they're both there. When y'all are tracking, that's easy. I'm not even worried about it. Make sure that you do have a strong rhythm section, lead line, an identifiable lead line, and your intro and in between verses, and then of course, strong rhythm section underneath the lead guitar. Perfect. Yeah, I was like, that makes sense. That makes sense. Everything that I was saying was just like, hey, when there's a lead, there's not really a rhythm. And when there's a rhythm, there's not really a lead. And the drums aren't transitioning really strong. And that just makes like, literally, that checks all of those boxes. So like here, what I would like, again, I'm going to say some things that you'll already kind of know that you still need to do, but just to make sure y'all are kind of pointed in the right direction when we get into kind of the next part here. Yeah, we're closed. Thank y'all so much for time. I really appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you're following if you haven't already. But the line is closed. We're going to be live again probably on Monday, maybe Sunday afternoon, but most likely Monday. I really appreciate y'all tapping in. Thank y'all so much for hopping in today. Okay, let me go into this section here again. So like, having like and then a short, I love the short interlude right there. It's concise, cut all the fat right there. That's beautiful. Right back into the verse. I love it. But having like a lead guitar over that rhythm. Yeah, a little bit of a solo, but even more controlled than a solo. An interlude that's like a really defined line. So less like shredding and movement, and just like a really clean. And then what I would do is I would do that on the intro, right? Like a lead line, Ron's that they give her the follow. A lead line, I'm gonna imagine it's that melody, change it to literally any melody you want. But I would do this. Out for the verse, like give like your intro, your interlude, your post hook, like give all of that like a line that the guitar goes to consistently. That maybe less of a solo. You can do some solos in there, of course, but you already have that later. And again, if you solo all the time, it loses its impact. So if you do like a solo in the intro, a solo in the interlude, and then you do a talk box solo later on, then it's going to lose its impact in the song because it doesn't feel nearly as special. You're going to want to compartmentalize a lot of the impressive aspects of your song, so that it's like it would be like an R&B vocal doing runs the entire time, or doing the high falsetto every single time they go into a verse. And it's like, okay, that's cool that they're doing it, but it loses its meaning and its impact if it's happening all the time. It's the same with a lot of different elements. It's like if there's heavy bass all the time, if there's guitar solos and drum solos all the time, then they lose their impact and their reasoning for existing in the song. So I think that would work on keys. It can. I won't say it couldn't. My brain wants that to be a guitar, though. I think it would be really nice to have a lead guitar, even if it's like a cleaner lead guitar, and then you push into a little bit more of a distortion, tap on a pedal, just turn on a little bit more overdrive and distortion going into the hook and kind of open them up again. But I think my brain would prefer that it's a guitar. I think that works more with the flow that I hear in the song. But I want have it in the intro, have it in the interlude, and then do solo later. But it's specifically kind of in that pocket right there. Okay. Let me get a little deeper into this, and we'll close it out, y'all. And I appreciate y'all tapping in and requesting songs. The line is closed. I don't know if I need to make this bigger. I mean, I already made it bigger, but maybe I still need to make it bigger. The line is closed. This is our last song. We will be live again either Sunday afternoon or Monday. We'll be back. We'll open up the line. We'll listen to a lot more of y'all's music. But today is short and sweet. It's concise. This is our final one. Just make sure that you're following, and we'll make sure that we hopefully can get y'all back up on the board in a couple days. Like interlude here, right? And then Let it open. Just like, it's a little thing, a little tasting right there. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then you should have, I think, as you build this out a little bit more, I definitely want a extended vocal line right there, whether it's some form of an ad lib or a filler right there, or just an extended vocal line, just because it cuts early and then you lose some steam going into the hook. Once again, stronger transitions to the hooks. The drums will obviously help with that when that's transitioning the way that you want it to, but that vocal line could be a little bit extended. Perfect, perfect. You're on it, you're on it. Open up right here, beautiful. Yeah. Good consistent melody. And then, heavy rhythm underneath it. The heavy rhythm guitar. The heavy rhythm guitar, of course, will give context to that lead, so it makes a little more sense. I mean, for a second here, I'm gonna throw this out here for a second again, because I know it's not the original drummer. For a second there, they go to a halftime, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. They change chords. I love that. I think it goes to the B. They change chords. Fantastic. And it goes halftime for a half second, and then he switches back to cash back up again. Again, when we're talking about like having moments where the energy shifts and the chords change, and all of that stuff happens, that's a beautiful moment. And then it kind of caught back up. I would love to stay there in the halftime of just, let me hear it really quick. This interlude right here, I would do this whole interlude build up. Yeah, I mean, this is a beautiful build up for a halftime, and then you go crazy with the vocal at the top. I would just build up. You're doing the whole big time, and then you go halftime, and then you go. Like slow it all down there, all halftime. And then when you go back into the hook and you build up again, go full time again. But just for that little, when you're going C major to E minor, C major to E minor right there, and that little interlude, that little bridge right there, and it's halftime, keep the halftime. That's a great transition right there. Love, 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 love. It changes the energy so much, and then you pick it back up again, and it matters more when you pick it back up again. Vocal up. Great solo here. Keep the energy really high here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Y'all, please show some love to Erica Hart. Thank you so much for setting in the song as well. I really, really appreciate that. Again, much tighter structure, way more concise, way more like locked into the structure. So now it's just optimization time. It's making sure there's clean, clear lead lines, distinct hooks on the instrumentation and vocals, which you already have. So like intro, interlude, post-chorus, and then half times leaving from there, like halftime on the bridge, back into a heavy hook, maybe come back to the lead line with the solo at the outro, like stuff like that. But this structure is way more concise, and I can't wait for y'all to get this tracked and worked out as well. Y'all show some love to Erica Hart. That is Good Nuff is the name of the band. And On the Prowl is the name of the song. We love what y'all do. Y'all are absolutely fantastic. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for stopping by today, sending in some tracks. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to get out of here, y'all. I've got some things to do, places to be, people to see. I'll be out of here, but I'll be out of the studio all day tomorrow, potentially back Sunday afternoon, but most likely Monday. So definitely make sure y'all have an amazing weekend. Tap in a couple days. Make sure y'all are subscribed on YouTube and Twitch. Make sure that you are following on TikTok. And hopefully we'll see all of y'all very, very soon. Peace.